if you still dependent on this system, if you don't know how to fast, if you don't know how to grow your own food, if you don't know how to find alternatives, in this next shift, in this next wave of things, you're going to be lost, you're going to be stuck, and you're not going to know what to do. You got to understand it. Have you ever wondered or experienced when you try to fast or when you try to swerve away from certain things or certain foods, how your loved ones, your people that you live with, or this and that person, they try to make your favorite meal, they try to get your favorite restaurant or your fast food. You got to understand it does because they want to keep you stuck. It's all part of the plan and the agenda to keep you vibrating at a low frequency. You got to understand it. You got to understand, like, you got to look at how you react, how your body react, how your mood feel after you eat certain things. Is you good? Is you uplifted? Or is you drained? Is you tired? Do you want to feel like angry at the world? You got to understand it, fam. We all know what's going on. It's been talked about for a while. Like, the meat is not real, fam. We eating lab-grown meat. We eating printed meat. You got to understand it. And no, I'm not coming on here. I'm not perfect, fam. Some days I want to eat cookies. Some days I go and pick up Reese's or chocolate or try to eat a piece of cake. But I know, or I try to constantly scroll on social media or look at videos that's funny to me or just people that uplift me and this and that, or go on social media and repost posts. But I know when to take breaks. I know when to stop doing it. I know when to go work on myself and stop doing all this and that. You got to understand that I do those things because it's what I was taught. I was taught that junk food was the way to eat all this food and just go about life and doing all this and that. Constantly on social media, dopamine, all this and that, because what I was taught and programmed up this and that. But I know how to pull back from it and focus on myself and this and that. You got to understand it because at the end of the day, you got to do what's best for you. You know what's good for you. You know what's best for you. You know what not to do and what to do. But you got to understand that, fam. Everything is pushed on us to just keep us stuck and keep us distracted. You got to understand that, fam. And another thing I want to talk about in this new shift and this new wave of things is females, or you got different type of people around. You got to understand that because they can distract you from all this type of stuff. Like I said, I'm not perfect, fam. It's many times on my spiritual journey, on my semen retention journey, on my no-fat journey that I relapse. But I know how to get back up and pick myself back up and focus on myself and be more disciplined. Every time I relapse and do all this and that, it's like I get even more disciplined. I get even more stronger. I build more inner strength. You got to understand that because if you're still out here lusting after females or you looking at females' body on Instagram and doing all this and that, you got to understand that they feeding off your energy. Like, it's these low-level people who are lust after these females and they get energy after these females, and these females be wondering why in their real life or how they feel after a certain time. They be tired or this and that or drained because these low-level people, they giving them parasites. You got to understand that everything is energy transfer. You got to understand that, fam. So you got to stop lusting after these females. You got to understand that because when you looking at a female, you thinking her lustful, it's basically your seed. What you look at is basically what you look at, hear, and watch and look and see and tend to. That's what you're going to become. You got to understand that. So you got to be careful what you pay attention to, what you do, what you participate in. You got to flee to things that's edifying your soul and building you up and becoming you a better man. You got to understand that this world wants dumbed down, non-spiritual, non-purpose driven men. They want people vibrating at the lowest vibration of themselves. They want people all out eating fast food, having sex on a normal basis, and watching free entertainment. That's the three things that break men or just break people in general. You got to understand that, fam. And in this next shift, it's all about attention. It's all about energy. That's why you got to protect your energy because social media is at an all-time high. Everything is a distraction, fam. As you see, like, they pushing out more deaths. They pushing out more of these wars, these hurricanes, these storms, and this and that. Like, you gotta understand that they see that everything that they push out, everything they try to put on us, we grow from it. We know how to like take time out for ourselves. We know how to like maneuver around it and beat the system. You gotta understand that. So they're gonna keep pushing more and more stuff out. So you gotta understand. You gotta be wise and you gotta be like on guard and have spiritual discipline to see what's coming. You gotta understand it. And I want to touch back on that Chick-fil-A situation. I'm a dreamer. I dream things. The Heavenly Father, He reveals things to me. So if anything that's coming my way, anything that happened in the past, in the future, bringing back memories or anything that's to come, I dream about it. So I had a dream about when I say about the Chick-fil-A stuff and about the things you eat. I went to sleep and I was at the job that I work at right now. And in the job, when you go in a break room, it's a bunch of food. It's a variety of things that you could pick from, but it's all junk food. You got to understand that, fam. So I had a dream and I went in the break room. There was 4 people sitting down and something led to me to go sit by them. You got to understand that. And they was like, what you do? What type of person you want to become? And I told them I was like a spiritual enlightener. I was like a coach, a life coach, and I was this and that. And they said, okay. So then it was something that led me to the food and the junk food over there. And it was like, this is the stuff that you need to stop eating. Just stop eating anything and stop putting anything into your body because you don't know what it's doing to you. You got to understand that. So that's why I'm trying to just eat like oats, drink water, eggs, salads, and just stuff that's not processed, stuff that's gonna edify my soul, stuff that's gonna give me healthy stuff like sea moss and all this and that. You gotta understand it, because at the end of the day, it's about you. You gotta take care of yourself. You gotta take care of your mental. You gotta understand it, because health is wealth. If you're not healthy mentally, physically, and this and that, you're gonna be tired, you're gonna be drained, you're not gonna want to do nothing. So you're gonna be like poor in every aspect of your life. So you gotta understand it. At the end of the day, you gotta take care of yourself and do what's best for yourself. Stop trying to let people pull you down and break you off, and stop doing things that you need to do. You gotta understand it. But I love y'all and Yahushua. Love y'all even more. Stay up and blessed. We true to this. We not new to this.